In other news, tens of thousands of students have marched through the heart of Melbourne demanding action on climate change. Mark Santomartino tells us they skipped school to join rallies in 90 countries worldwide.
A slow-moving sign tsunami rolls toward Parliament House, stressing that there's no Planet B. An SOS to Canberra held high by some of Melbourne's youngest.
Students, united, will never be divided.
Not old enough to vote, but determined to be heard.
We want to stop Adani. We want 100% renewable by 2030. We want to end all new fossil fuel projects.
Marching beneath a few who mounted tram stops, those who would have graduated decades ago, supported messages penned by a generation just starting kinder.
It says care for the animals. It's my future. If you won't act now, we will.
Melbourne's rally, just one of 60 held across Australia, from Adelaide to Alice Springs, Byron Bay to Bega. The hashtag climate strike was surging on social media.
Not just Melbourne, not just Australia, around the world.
It's inspirational to think that everyone around the world is fighting for climate change.
As tens of thousands of people shut down Spring Street, as well as packed the steps of the old Treasury building, there were still some of the politicians that were trying to get their message to who were adamant they should be in school instead.
I think it is a great shame that those students aren't at school.
I think there's nothing more important than us being here to try and make a difference.
They better hear us. We are shouting to the rooftops.
Mark Santomartino,
This is what democracy looks like.
9 News.
School children were easily in the majority as more than 20,000 people converged on the city demanding action on climate change. The Melbourne rally was one of dozens of events across Australia and around the world.
Most of this crowd isn't old enough to vote.
No more ScoMo! No more ScoMo!
But it didn't stop them voicing their anger towards the adults running the country. Their message was direct. They're concerned about climate change. More than 20,000 people converged on Spring Street. They were undeterred by the politicians slamming them for skipping school.
I've been at school for, 10 years now, and what I've learned is that this is what I need to do if I want to have a future.
I think it is a great shame that those students aren't at school.
But not all adults agreed. Amongst the thousands of youthful and painted faces, there were members of the older generations getting behind the cause.
You want to be on the right side of history, right? And I think hopefully, we'll look back and realise this has an impact.
The grannies are all here because we agree with them. They're our grandchildren. We think they're wonderful and they should be doing this.
These Melbourne protesters are not alone. There are tens of thousands of students rallying across Australia in 60 different locations, and they're joined by young people in more than 100 countries throughout the globe.
The large crowd marched down Collins Street, stopping traffic and spreading their message. Their peaceful rally ended at Treasury Gardens. Their voices were loud, their signs were witty and will be difficult to ignore. Emily Angwin, 7 News.